Maybe you've felt it lately. Getting out of a chair takes more effort. Carrying groceries feels like lifting bricks. Stairs seem steeper than they used to. Most people chalk this up to aging. But what if I told you that what's really happening isn't just age, it's a condition called sarcopenia, and it's quietly stealing your strength, your balance, and your independence. Now here's the part that might surprise you. Scientists from Harvard and the Mayo Clinic have found a simple daily habit that can not only slow this muscle loss, but actually reverse it. And no, it's not about lifting heavy weights or spending hours at the gym. So why do some people in their 70s move like they're 40? It's not luck. It's not genes. It's because they've tapped into a powerful science-backed routine that most seniors have never even heard of. If you're ready to live healthy after 50, rebuild your energy, and enjoy daily strength with ease, hit like, subscribe, and tell us below, what part of your body do you most wish felt stronger again? Let's dive into the one habit that could change everything. Thermodynamics 1, what's really causing muscle loss? Most people think muscle loss is just part of getting older. They believe it's normal to slow down after 60, to lose strength, feel more tired, and move with less confidence. But what if that wasn't entirely true? The real culprit behind this decline is something far more silent and far more dangerous. It's called sarcopenia. And it's not a natural part of aging. It's a progressive condition caused by inactivity and a lack of muscle stimulation. Sarcopenia doesn't begin at 70 or 80. It actually starts as early as your 30s. And if left unchecked, it can cut your muscle mass in half by the time you reach 80. That's not just about looking weaker. It's about being more vulnerable to falls injuries and losing the ability to do basic things like lifting a pot, walking up steps, or even getting out of bed without help. You might have already felt the signs. Climbing stairs takes more effort than it used to. Carrying a bag of groceries makes your arms sore for days. Getting up from a chair that used to be automatic. Now you have to push off with your hands or pause for a second before rising. These aren't just inconveniences. They are warning signs your body asking for help. According to the Journal of Physiology, sarcopenia is not just aging. It's preventable. And in many cases, it's reversible. That's critical to understand because too many older adults accept weakness as inevitable when it doesn't have to be. Take Carol, for example. She's 68 and lives in St. Louis. A few years ago, she started noticing how winded she'd get just walking across the parking lot. She assumed it was just part of healthy aging. But when she tripped on her front steps and struggled to get back up, she knew something wasn't right. Her doctor told her she was simply getting older. But another physician gave her a different message. You're losing muscle and you can get it back. That's where the turning point begins. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention reports that 1 out of every 4 Americans over 65 falls each year, and many of those falls are caused by weak muscles. These falls aren't just bruises. They often lead to broken hips, hospital stays, and a loss of independence that's hard to recover from. Muscle isn't just about strength. It protects your bones, supports your joints, and keeps your metabolism running. As it fades, everything becomes harder. You move less, you burn fewer calories, you feel more tired, and the cycle continues. That's why doctors are beginning to shift how they talk about senior health. It's not just about managing diseases, it's about building strength before disease shows up. And muscle loss is now being called one of the biggest threats to independence in older adults. The truth is, healthy aging isn't passive. It takes intention. And reversing sarcopenia is entirely possible with the right steps. You don't need to be a bodybuilder. You don't even need to go to a gym. But you do need to activate your muscles in the right way on a regular basis. Most importantly, you need to stop waiting. Because sarcopenia accelerates after age 60. That means the longer you delay action, the more muscle you may lose. But the good news, your body is still listening. Even in your 70s or 80s, you can send the right signals and your muscles will respond. This is where over 60 wellness becomes about more than walking and vitamins. It becomes about reclaiming your independence, rebuilding what was lost, and refusing to accept the myth that weakness is your new normal. If you're someone who wants to live on your own terms, who wants to feel steady on your feet and confident in your body, this is where your journey begins. Not with medicine, but with movement. And the best part, you only need a few minutes a day to start making that shift. This isn't just aging gracefully advice, it's a wake-up call, and it could be the most important one you hear this year. Because sarcopenia isn't something that just happens to you. It's something you can fight with knowledge, with movement, and with purpose. Ask your doctor about it. Take a look at how your body feels today. Then ask yourself this: what would it mean to feel strong again? You're not alone, and it's never too late to choose strength. Number 2, the habit that reverses it. If muscle loss is the problem, what's the solution? Most people think it's long workouts, heavy weights, or hours in the gym. But according to groundbreaking research from Harvard and McMaster University, the answer is much simpler and far more doable. It's called progressive resistance training. Not just any exercise, not just walking more, or doing a few leg lifts. This specific habit done the right way has the power to turn your body back into a muscle-building machine, no matter your age. Progressive resistance means gradually increasing how much you challenge your muscles. Not just moving them, not just repeating the same easy routine, but working just hard enough that your muscles say, okay, I need to grow. In one study, adults over 65 who did 2 short sessions of progressive resistance training per week gained more strength than those who exercised 5 days a week using light effort. That's not a typo. Less time, better results, as long as the effort is right. You don't need machines. You don't even need a gym membership. You can start right at home with the weight of your own body and a few common items like a wall, a chair, or a resistance band. Wall push-ups strengthen your chest and arms. Chair squats build power in your legs and protect your knees. Resistance band rows improve your posture and support your back. These simple movements can trigger the same biological response as lifting weights if done with enough challenge and consistency. Jim, a 74-year-old retired mechanic in Tucson, used to believe his best days were behind him. His knees hurt, his back ached, and after a minor fall in the kitchen, he started to fear walking around the house alone. Then his granddaughter showed him how to do chair squats, just 10 every morning. By week 3, he was doing 15. By month 2, he stopped using the railing when going down the stairs. This is what longevity secrets look like in real life. Not fancy treatments, not miracle pills, just intentional effort done regularly and with purpose. When you train this way, your muscles activate something called anabolic signaling. It's your body's way of saying, this person still needs strength, let's rebuild. And yes, that signal works even at 60, 70, or 85. The science proves it. The Journal of Applied Physiology found that even adults in their 90s saw significant muscle gains in just 8 to 12 weeks of progressive resistance training. Let that sink in. The human body is never too old to grow stronger if you give it the right reason. The beauty of this habit is that it works with your body, not against it. You don't need to lift heavy weights. You don't need to feel pain. In fact, smart resistance training protects your joints and lowers your risk of injury, especially when compared to long, repetitive cardio routines. That's why it's becoming one of the top senior health tips shared by doctors focused on natural solutions. It's not about exhausting yourself. It's about reaching a point of gentle fatigue, just enough that your muscles get the message to adapt. And when they do, you feel the difference. Your balance improves, your posture straightens, your movements become smoother. Tasks that once felt like chores, carrying a laundry basket, standing up from the couch, suddenly become effortless again. For many older adults, this is more than fitness, it's freedom. And it all begins with this one habit. This approach is also one of the most powerful forms of natural health for seniors, because it doesn't just strengthen muscles, it supports metabolism, stabilizes blood sugar, and even helps maintain brain function. Progressive resistance training is more than a workout. It's a message to your body that you still have plans, that you want to live not just longer but stronger, that you're choosing to stay in the game. You don't have to do everything at once. Start with one movement, track your reps, and increase gradually. Even 10 minutes a day can change your future. This is what healthy aging is really about. Not giving up, not slowing down, but leaning into what your body can still do and helping it do more. The 3 biggest mistakes seniors make. When most older adults try to get stronger, they start with good intentions. They walk more. They pick up a few light dumbbells. They stretch or take group classes. But even with all that effort, they still feel weaker with time. Why? Because without the right approach, your muscles won't respond. In fact, they'll keep shrinking slowly, quietly, and dangerously. And these 3 common mistakes are often to blame. The first mistake is using the same light weights again and again. It feels safe, it feels productive, but your muscles adapt fast. And when there's no challenge, there's no growth. That's called training stagnation. It's when your body gets so used to the routine that it stops changing. You might still sweat, you might feel sore, but you're no longer building strength. You're just maintaining at best. A study in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research found that when older adults use the same resistance without increasing intensity, their progress stalled within 4 weeks. Meanwhile, those who gradually added challenge saw steady gains for months. The second mistake is focusing only on isolation exercises. Think leg extensions, bicep curls, or those ankle kicks from a seated position. These movements target single muscles, but they miss the bigger picture. Real-life movement requires multiple muscles working together. Standing up from a chair, reaching for a can in the cupboard, catching your balance when you slip. These actions don't use just one muscle. They rely on groups of muscles firing at the same time. That's why compound movements are essential. Chair squats, wall push-ups, resistance band rows, these mimic how your body moves in daily life. They train not just your muscles, but your coordination, balance, and stability too. Sylvia, a 72-year-old grandmother from Des Moines, used to do bicep curls every morning. She figured if she could lift her arms, she was doing fine. But when she nearly fell getting off the bus, she realized arm strength wasn't enough. After switching to full-body movements like squats and push-ups, she noticed not just strength but confidence returning to her steps. The third and most damaging mistake is avoiding muscle fatigue. Many seniors have been told, don't push too hard, take it easy. But here's the truth. Without reaching fatigue, your muscles have no reason to grow. Muscle fatigue isn't pain. It's that moment where you can't do another repetition with good form. It might come at the 6th rep, it might come at the 12th, but it's that exact moment when change begins. Research from McMaster University shows that seniors who train to this point of controlled fatigue gain significantly more strength than those who stop early, even when both groups use light weights. The key isn't how heavy the load is. It's whether your muscles are being truly challenged. Avoiding fatigue may feel safe, but it's actually risky, because over time, the slow loss of muscle increases your risk for falls fractures, insulin resistance, and even cognitive decline. In short, it makes you more vulnerable to many of the conditions we call aging. But when you train properly with compound movements and controlled fatigue, you send a signal to your body. That signal says, I'm still here. I still need strength. Let's build it. This approach is a cornerstone of modern aging gracefully advice. Not just staying active, but staying strong. Not just preventing illness, but preventing dependence. According to senior health tips published by the Mayo Clinic, strength training can delay or even prevent chronic diseases like osteoporosis, type 2 diabetes, and arthritis. But it must be done right, not casually, not mindlessly, with intention. If you've been making any of these 3 mistakes, it's not your fault. Much of the advice given to seniors is outdated, watered down, or overly cautious. But now you know better. And knowing better is the beginning of living better. Start with this simple shift. Focus on real movements, not just isolated ones. Train until your muscles say, that's enough. And every few weeks, increase the effort just a little more. It's never about perfection. It's about direction. And the direction you choose today can shape your strength for the years ahead. Third, 4, the science behind the transformation. Muscle loss isn't just about what you can or can't lift. It's about what's happening deep inside your body. And what scientists are now uncovering is giving new hope to older adults who thought their strength was gone for good. As we age, our muscles stop responding as well to the usual signals to grow. This is known as anabolic resistance. But resistance training done the right way can reverse it. It reawakens the communication between your brain muscles and hormones, telling your body to rebuild. That's why even light training, when done to the point of mild fatigue, can lead to real changes. Your body doesn't need heavy weights. It just needs the right kind of challenge to trigger a biological reaction. Inside your muscle cells are special genes, ones you've likely never heard of. FOXO, sirtuins. These are sometimes called longevity genes. They're responsible for cell repair, energy regulation, and protecting tissues as we age. When you engage in resistance training, especially compound movements like squats or band rows, these genes switch on. It's like flipping a light in a dark room. Your body becomes more efficient at rebuilding muscle and maintaining balance, strength, and even cognition. And that's just the beginning. One of the biggest breakthroughs in senior health is the discovery of a condition called inflammaging. It's a form of low-grade chronic inflammation that builds up slowly over time. You won't feel it like a cold or a fever, but it quietly damages muscles, joints, and organs day after day. Tufts University researchers found that older adults with high levels of inflammation lose muscle up to 3 times faster than those with low levels. That's a frightening number. But here's the good news. Resistance training actually reduces inflammation. When you move your muscles with effort, they release anti-inflammatory molecules called myokines. These are like internal fire extinguishers, calming the body's stress responses and slowing age-related damage. Jack, a 70-year-old from Birmingham, never considered himself a science guy. But when his doctor showed him how 10 minutes of resistance work a day could lower inflammation and restore muscle function, he decided to try. After 6 weeks, his knee pain dropped, his balance improved, and he started sleeping better. He didn't understand all the science, but his body did. Another benefit of resistance training is its effect on muscle protein synthesis, or MPS. That's the process your body uses to rebuild muscle fibers after they've been stressed. In younger adults, this happens easily, but after 60, it slows down unless you actively trigger it. Studies from the Journal of Applied Physiology show that even a short focused resistance session can boost MPS for up to 72 hours. That means your body keeps repairing and strengthening for days, even from just a few movements done with care. Finally, resistance training restores something most people don't even think about: the connection between your brain and your body. The neuromuscular junction is the place where your nerves meet your muscles. And after age 60, that connection starts to fade. That's why some older adults feel clumsier, slower, or less steady on their feet. But here's the exciting part. Resistance training rebuilds those brain-to-muscle pathways. Every rep you do is like rewiring your system, improving reaction time, coordination, and control. This is more than a workout. It's a reset button for your biology. For those looking to practice daily habits for longevity, this science is empowering. Because it's not just about adding years to your life, it's about adding strength, purpose, and clarity to every single day. The best part, you don't need fancy machines. You don't need to be an expert. You just need to start one small session at a time. Your body will take care of the rest. This is the kind of transformation modern doctor tips for older adults are beginning to focus on. Real change, rooted in research, backed by results. So if you're wondering whether it's too late to get strong again, the answer is no. The science says yes. Your body still listens. And now you have the tools to speak its language. Fun of 10-minute strength blueprint. You don't need an hour. You don't need a gym. What you need is a smart plan and just 10 minutes a day to follow it. This blueprint is designed for older adults who want to regain strength, protect their independence, and feel good in their bodies again. It's not about pushing harder. It's about training smarter. Step 1 is your warm-up. This part matters. It prepares your joints, wakes up your muscles, and signals your brain to focus. Start by marching in place for 30 seconds. Then do forward and backward arm circles to loosen your shoulders. Finish with wall-assisted heel raises and seated leg extensions. 2 minutes is all it takes to feel ready. Step 2 is learning the core movements. You only need 3. These aren't random, they mirror how you move in real life. Chair squats strengthen your legs and protect your knees. Wall push-ups work your upper body without stressing your joints. Resistance band rows improve posture and support your back. These 3 exercises target the major muscle groups that keep you steady, mobile, and safe. Richard, 76, from Spokane, struggled with getting up from the floor after gardening. After 3 weeks of practicing chair squats every morning, he noticed a difference. By week 5, he was standing up without reaching for support. This isn't a rare success, it's what happens when your movements match the way your body was meant to work. Step 3 is training to controlled fatigue. This is where results come from. Controlled fatigue means stopping when your form breaks, not when you collapse. It's the moment your muscles say, "That's enough for today." That's the moment your body begins rebuilding stronger fibers. You don't have to count reps, just aim for effort. It might be 6 reps, it might be 12. What matters is consistency and form. Step 4 is simple: track your progress. Use a small notebook or your phone. Write down what you did, how many times, and how you felt. Tracking keeps you motivated and makes your brain more likely to turn this into a habit. It also shows you that what you're doing matters even when the changes feel slow. Step 5 is recovery. This is where your body rebuilds. Right after training, drink a glass of water. Within the hour, aim for 25 to 30 grams of high-quality protein. Eggs, yogurt, lentils, or a small smoothie all work well. According to current research in senior nutrition guides, this protein window plays a critical role in supporting muscle repair and hormone balance. Recovery doesn't stop with food. Add gentle movement on rest days, a walk around the block, light stretching, even Tai Chi. These movements improve circulation, support your joints, and ease stiffness. The goal isn't to stay still, it's to stay supple. The most important thing to remember is this: you're not training for pain, you're training for strength, for balance, for freedom in your day-to-day life, and it only takes 10 minutes a day to start seeing results. This plan isn't intense, it's intentional, and it's one of the most powerful tools in natural health for seniors because it fits into real life. No memberships, no machines, just you, your body, and a decision to care. Whether you're new to strength training or restarting after a long break, this blueprint is safe, effective, and backed by real science. It's also one of the top senior health tips shared by doctors who focus on long-term wellness. It doesn't matter where you start. It matters that you start. And once you do, you'll begin to feel not just stronger, but steadier, more energized, and more in control of your aging journey. Your muscles aren't gone. They're simply waiting for you to notice them again, to move with purpose, to show your body it still has work to do. Strength doesn't disappear overnight. It fades slowly when we stop asking for it. But the moment you challenge your muscles, even gently, they start to respond. They rebuild. They remember. You don't need to be young to get strong again. You don't need to be perfect. You just need one habit, done consistently, done with care. So here's your next step. Pick one thing from this video and start today. Not next week, not when it's convenient. Today, because your strength is worth it. If this helped you, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Turn on the notification bell so you won't miss the next step in your journey to live healthy after 50. Your health is your greatest wealth. Tell us in the comments, what habit are you starting with and what surprised you most about today's message?